And then we talk about like your relationship with God is so important because I can only tell you so much. Everybody else can only tell you so much. You need a connection with God because the things I ask women to do is bold.
Yeah.
It's bold. Like, and I'm clear about it. I'm clear that telling them, sitting across from a man and saying like, I don't know what a girlfriend is bold. I'm clear that letting a man who may have, just took you on a whirlwind something and you stand outside your house door like, okay, good night. It's bold because you're not coming in. Like, I understand. But my confidence is in God. And so I work with my clients on getting their confidence in God because I can't, tips, tricks, 5 steps, 4 lines to say like, there's not going to be anything I can tell a woman that's going to help her unless she's anchored in God. Like, it's just not. It will not stick. It will not stay. Because you need boldness and you need to understand God's design for women and God's love for women and God's plan for women. And then you walk in a boldness. It's like,
hey everybody, it's your girl DJ. We're playing for Keeps Dating App and Podcast. And today I have a special guest, Corinne. She is a lover of God, her family, and all things pink. Yes. She finds joy as a femininity coach, helping women level up and unleash the power of their femininity from the boardroom to the bedroom. She believes that all women are deserving and capable of creating a life of peace and ease. Her greatest work is her upcoming book, Sex is Your Superpower, a feminine guide to peace and purpose, set to release actually this month. So has it already been released?
I changed the release date because of Amazon. So it's May 24th.
May 24th?
Yes.
Okay, so set to release May 24th. Okay, I'm very excited to speak to you. And the topics we're going to dive into are casual sex, dating with clear intentions, using femininity to be magnetic, feminine principles, the power of a woman's sexual energy, healing relationships between men and women. How are you today?
I'm well. The sun is shining. I did my workout. It was long too.
That's what's up.
Yes, this is the first time I did an hour of cardio.
An hour of cardio.
It took a long time to get there, but yeah.
Oh my God, congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Girl, I think I probably can last about 10 minutes.
You can do longer. I started real short. Real short, yes.
Do you do like weight training in between, or you just strictly cardio?
I do weight training, but like cardio is more for like health and endurance.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do now.
Got you. I feel you. Okay. Well, I commend you on that. And
I commend your 10 minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Because some people do 0.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? So no, thank you for sharing all of that. So listening to your bio, I know that with most people, you go through a journey before you get to this place.
Yeah.
Before we dive into these topics, I would love to hear just more about you and your journey.
That's such a good question. And I'm like, where do I start? I feel like it started in the womb. I feel like I was made to do this work. So that's why I have like a hard time figuring out where. But I'll start in college.
Okay.
So I always felt like God was calling me to do something. I never knew what it was. Yeah. People are always like, you're special. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, what?
Yes.
All right. Okay, cool. It wasn't until I got into college and I started to date and boys came along and I was having sex. And something always turned out fast. So I did the whole like, I'll just get a boyfriend, not just like,
yeah.
Like, we're not gonna move around the cabin. We're just doing like, we'll do that one thing. And then I always felt convicted. I always felt indignant. What is this? Like, why is this happening? So, and then I said, okay, God, you got it. Like, I'll stop having this.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Wow.
So, I know. Cold turkey, girl.
Wow. I think the conviction piece, too, so young.
Yeah.
Real quick before you dive, would you say your home environment, were your parents religious? Did you guys go to church 3-4 times a week?
So, my mom was very, I would say, like, religious/spiritual.
Okay.
She tried to take us to church as much as she could, but she was a nurse, so she worked nights. So my mom would literally take us to church and then be sitting in the back,
sleep
because she just got up a 12-hour shift. But like that was her commitment, her dedication to us. My dad was more spiritual, so my dad was more like, God exists, God loves you, but just not necessarily tied to a church.
Gotcha.
And that's one thing I want to do in my book. And I think that's why I got wanting me to live this book is because In the church, it can be, and even in my home, it was like, just don't have sex. But
Gotcha.
why? Because boys are cute. I'm cute. We cute. We try to be cute together. Why? Like, nobody really explained the why. And I don't know many women who know the why.
Not on a spiritual level, right? Except for the baby's part,
Right.
The physical stuff. I'm sure your book probably ties into
It does talk about that. But why not? Why can't I have to? Right? Why does nobody really go into the depths of it? So I talk about that. I talk about how women are the heart of the community.
Yeah.
And so when we have children out of wedlock, and not in the shameful way, but in like more of the spiritual in ways, like God desires the women to be careful, and to be loved. And so when we step outside of that, then we have kids by ourselves and take care of them by ourselves. No matter how much money you make, no matter how big resources you have, it's hard being a single mother because now I need to do all over line. And women who try to put on so many hats, who try to be the dad, the uncle, the grandma, and we get tired, get stressed out, we get burned out, and then our children suffer, and then our home suffer, and our kids suffer. So it's not just don't have a baby, not have to be. It's like this baby deserves to be brought in love, and kindness, and connection to you. I mean, not just contestants.
I agree.
Right? And I also feel like that's something there is themes that I'm talking about. Like the soul ties in the way we are not pulled as women of communication, givers, multi. We are not built to meet ourselves. So, somebody that realize, and or was it pasta and lobster? We're not built for that. We just are not. So, in college, I say they die. I started and I started labor. Everything down, but what is afraid? I'm not doing it. I'd say, maybe it's ghetto words, but that hasn't been my experience with him. It's been my power. I think that I can date. I don't need wings. I don't know where they came from. I don't know where they at.
Yeah.
But I don't care because it was like going to a business meeting, like going to a networking event. You meet so many people at a networking event. I don't know his name. You know what I mean? Because I'm not giving that much power to that man. Like,
agreed.
It's like a business lunch if we go out.
Yeah. Well, a business lunch?
Not like that, but that's the level of connection. Like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My life is not going to be in shambles because you decide to leave or you don't want to do this.
You're not a good fit.
Yeah.
I definitely agree because I know I talk to a lot of women now, like, it's okay. I tell them it's okay to date multiple people. And I say, you need to look at it as, for me, you need to look at it as, okay, this could be a possible friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't put so much pressure on yourself to impress somebody you don't know yet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's exhausting for you. You're putting too much energy into the dating process.
Exactly.
Okay.
Put your energy in the right places. Like, if you desire to get married, be clear about that. If you just want to have fun, no sex, be clear about that. If you just want to go for pasta and lobster or whatever else they got going on, be clear about that. But do not give that man your body. Got that. Oh my gosh, you could date 50 men at a time and it would not matter because you're not giving them your body. And I also talk about like certain things in my book about certain times is now you need to put that phone on do not disturb.
Right. And set those boundaries.
Yeah, don't let that man come over your house. And that's the one that get people that be like,
I think so.
I want to cuddle. And I'm like, okay, girl, but when he gets up, like, you're still by yourself, and Georgia Power is still coming for you.
That part.
Verizon's still automatically taking that stuff out. Like, you're supposed to be in a covering when you give your body to a man, when you allow men access to your energy.
Got you. Now, I want to go back a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I know you were saying that you felt this conviction.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any tangible or physical experience as far as like you, like maybe the guy did something wrong or you realize like, okay, this is definitely not the way to go for me in my life. Mm-hmm. Even with me just concentrating on just one guy and giving my body to one guy.
Mm-hmm. I was cheated on. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Not doing this, like, but we were so like that passion, that I just try to steer people away from that knockdown, drag out, like
chemistry,
just that
passion.
it's not good. It's not good. Like, it is not good. Okay, it is not good. But we had that, and I was like, do you love her? Like, I know her name. You say her name now. Like, what's going on?
Oh,
I know. Like, you slipped up. I know now. So, be clear.
Oh, wow.
What's going on? And I had to sit with myself, and oh my gosh, one of my family members, my dad took me back home.
Okay.
And one of my family members sat me down who has had a life, okay, like a life in the streets.
Yeah.
But I was so enraged that I was like, I wanted to harm him.
Yeah. Ooh.
And my dad took me out of state. And my dad was like, Corinne, you need to like talk to your family. And like, this doesn't make any sense because like they had lived that life of like repercussions, basically.
Right.
So he sat me down. He was like, cuz you don't want to do this. Like, cuz I was serious. Like, it was. Hear me when I say
I can imagine, like you said,
it was serious.
Yeah.
It was very, in my little mind, like, I was younger. It was very serious.
Right.
And so sat down, talked to me, and then I realized, like, this is not God's plan for me. Like, God does not desire, like, my husband, my whoever I'm supposed to be with, even in the time being, would never treat me this way.
Yeah.
Would never allow for these things to happen. Like, would be honest with me. And that's when I realized, after my dad saved me from going to jail, that's when God was like, wake up, Corinne. Like, this is not who you are. This is not who I called you to be. And I really had to take a step back. And so I talk in the book, like, cheaters, everybody, ha, 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 cheaters. But it's like, when is the last time you saw a grown person beelining down the street or in a grocery store or hanging off the side of a van for anything? But it's when you get sexually entangled with people.
Yeah.
It literally drives you crazy. Like, nobody else. They took, I don't know what that man's name is, but what did he do? He took all those people's money. He wasn't right. Like, it's so different. Like, when you entangle your body with, you could take somebody's money.
Yeah.
You could take their car, their job. They'll be okay. You can take their friends. They'll be all right. Their family. But you take somebody that has a piece of them, because that's what we do when we have sex.
Yeah.
A piece of them. Oh.
Oh,
No. So that was the experience. I said, you know what, God?
That's so you didn't go back. You didn't deal. So after that was it. After you realized he drove.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
True, but
okay.
we stopped engaging
In that way.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Okay, well that's good. You at least stopped engaging in that way.
But that did come later, to be fair. Like, I tell people, I'm not like this perfect Patty type of person, and I think that's another reason why God let me go through it is nobody would listen to me if I was a virgin. Like, people, all right, girl, you never done it. You know what I mean? But that has to be a part of my story, and I was so scared for so long to talk about it because people are like,
right, because some people feel like you're supposed to be this perfect Patty, but then how can you really be relatable to your audience that you're trying to help?
Yeah.
So
I'm relatable. Like, I've been there, girl. They took me across state line, so I wouldn't hurt that. But that is so insane, though. That is really crazy when you think about it. That I will put my life, my future on the line because
you cheated on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had my own experiences. But you just have one in college. You did pretty good. I'm just going to say that. I have a few, so.
We all have.
Really good.
It's parts in the book where I help you move on from that, girl.
Got you. Okay.
I help you lead that.
We're going to dig in a little bit of that today because all these topics are amazing topics. I know we touched on casual sex.
Mm-hmm.
But
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Right.
Was that just your first thought besides don't do it? When we put it on the floor, what were your thoughts?
I want to think of the prompt, but anytime we talk about casual sex, like, there's nothing casual about sex. No, oh my God, there is nothing casual about sex. And that's the lie that we tell. And we tell women, like, it's your body. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. But I really want you to think about it. Why would you think of a man, one of the experiences you had? Just, right, pick him, put him down.
Okay.
Think of all the things this man did to you. I don't even know them. Think of them.
Okay.
Now, say, I choose to give this man the most precious part of myself. Would you do that again?
now at this big old age,
Yeah.
and where my mind is
Right.
now. But back in the day, my mind wasn't there.
Exactly.
'Cause unfortunately, back then, sex was casual in
Right.
its own way, because it was just more of, okay, I'm available, this person's available.
Mhm.
And at the time, sex to me was how you build love and attachment. That's where my mind went at first. So, but again, like your point, that's not even really casual, because you're thinking that leads to love.
Yeah.
So
Many women do that. And we started that in our teens is because we equate sex with love. Men do not
They don't.
equate sex with love. It's okay, so I'm a bio major, so I got
yeah, I was just gonna ask you. So what are the what is it, the brain? Is it the brain chemistry in the body, or
the things that happen to us? Sex is, thank you God for science. Men and women literally react differently to sex, like on a chemical level.
Okay.
So when women have sex, is oxytocin and dopamine. And when men have sex, I want to say it's serotonin and prolactin for them. And so prolactin is interesting because prolactin switches in men.
Okay.
So if a man is having sex with his wife, prolactin will help him bond to her. If a man is having sex with somebody who is casual, it will literally make him like almost be disgusted. And I know that that's like,
does that have something to do with the vasopressin?
Yes, it does. And I don't want to mess up all the chemicals. So
okay,
let me go what I know.
Okay. But
in women, the dopamine that's the love, that's the bond, right? Like that's the oxytocin. Excuse me, that's the like locked in.
I know what you're talking about. Locked in. The happy.
It does not secrete in men unless they are in a long-term committed relationship. It's so like their body chemistry literally changes when they get married, when they have sex.
So you teach women how to activate that man's, is it vasopressin?
If you're married.
Within your... So what about through the dating process? Because don't you feel that needs to be activated through the dating process in order for the man to marry you?
It does, but why does he want to marry you? Like so that part of the chemicals, I don't get to in the dating process, but that's a great question.
Okay.
But I will say in the dating process is you have to know what you want, first of all, and then you have to be clear about what men want in general if you want to date men.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that. And that's fine, but don't date men.
Gotcha.
Because men have different signals. They have different things that they like, and it's not necessarily a personal thing. It's like a very biological wiring thing for them.
Got you. Okay. So that's casual sex. So we're going to go ahead and segue into dating with clear intentions.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? Because I know I have a lot of guests, women who come on my podcast and be like, well, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just going to see what he do. I feel like that's the wrong thing to do when you're dating intentionally. Do you agree with that?
Have you seen I don't know if it's like TikTok, whatever, but it's like, I'll go with the flow, but like, what time does the flow start? That's me. But don't go with the flow. But I'm like, but what time does the flow start? Because we could spend 12 years here. I was just talking to one of my good friends about this. You could spend 12, 11, 10, 19, 18 years going with the flow.
Right.
And that doesn't, in the same way that casual sex doesn't equate love to men, time spent does not equate love. And that, I know, it's like a...
That's a hard lesson I had to learn. A gut-wrenching lesson. That's a gut-wrenching lesson I had to learn. I was explaining to a guy who came on my podcast that I know one of the things for me, I had to get over the fact that when I was dating with somebody who was toxic, the time that I poured into the relationship and the resources I poured into the relationship, because for me, it was like, well, you just gonna leave me and give it to somebody else. And I had to get over that piece. But so because of that gut-wrenching information, like time doesn't mean anything.
No.
Real.
To us, it does.
Yeah.
Because what do you mean I'm spending 13 years with somebody and I don't want to marry them at the end? But that's not the same for men. They don't love and they don't connect in the way that we do. And that doesn't make them bad.
Yeah.
That's literally biology. Like, it is not the same.
Gotcha.
At all, it's not the same. Gotcha. So being clear is, I'm always going to be a proponent of the Bible. I tell people, even if you don't believe in Jesus, if you don't believe in God, just read it. Just start, open up the word and see what it says and see if it can give you some type of guidance. Okay. Because it's been along for long time, right? Like people have been listening. They said it's helped them. Look for the guidance. So I would look for a character in a godly man. That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
At first I was going with the flow, but once again, I was not giving these men my body. So I didn't care what happened.
Yeah.
I was trying to experience like fun stuff. I went like bouldering. Like we do fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, segueing a little bit, I spoke to another lady who's also a coach, and she was telling me women should control the dating process to a certain degree. Yes. How do you agree with that, or do you not? Because I know that contains some type of masculine energy in a way, and I know you talk about feminine and masculine. I kind of agree with her because going with the flow, like you give some type of directive, like not in this masculine doer type of way, but with your words, you redirect and you give directions of what you want. And if he leads and matches that, then great. And if he doesn't, then you need to segue out. Do you agree with that, or where are you there?
So agree with that. Women, we control dating and relationships.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay.
Like close the casket. There is no men do not control dating and relationships.
So that's where a lot of women get it confused
yes,
as well.
They do not.
Okay.
It's scientifically proven that if a wife dies before a husband, all his family ties, his friends, they drop because the woman is the holder of relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
So if she goes, who's my who is my connection now? And that's not saying men don't have family or friends, but they have shown studies where if the wife goes first, the husband loses his connection to everybody, because that's what we do. We are community builders, not in the physical hammering way, but like we set the tone, we set the energy, we create the atmosphere for that. And then like they do all like the physical stuff and the safety.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
So you can know exactly what you want and date femininely. And it doesn't have to be a demanding thing.
So what does that look like? Because even the example that I was giving, it wasn't really a demanding type of way. I think it was more so just in conversation. You're just letting it be known. What does that look like?
Okay. If I do something, can you role play with me?
I can try, because if I mess up.
No, there is no mess up. I got you. There's no wrong answer. The answer you put is the right answer.
Okay.
I'll be the man. Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna change my voice too.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. So, like, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a man that. I'm looking for a man that has integrity. I'm looking for a man that is goal oriented, because I am also goal oriented. Those are the two main things I'm looking for. I'm gonna just start there. I know it's probably more I should say, but I'm gonna goal-oriented and a man that's integral, because I know if you're integral, you're somebody who will stand on your word. You're somebody who probably doesn't easily lie. So those are the main things that I'm looking for.
Okay. So you asked me that question, and you be the man now.
Okay. So what are you looking for in a man?
It's just like my heart's desire that I have a man who is really strong in his godly character and a man who knows exactly what he wants. Okay? So I took what you said, but I didn't say exactly that, because don't give the man the playbook to play you.
Yeah.
So don't say like everything of like specific qualities.
Yeah.
Don't say all that. That's like a little bit later in the dating phase.
Yeah.
But be general, because you want him to show up as he is. And if you give specifics, unfortunately, if you date a man who is not like walking in his divine masculine, he will be a chameleon.
Got you. That's true.
You want integrity transformer?
Oh yeah, I'm about to say, damn, even integrity. Some men don't even know what integrity is. So that's why I like integrity and goal oriented. And it's like, how can you pretend to be goal oriented but you'd be surprised? So
look at their life.
Yeah, so that's why so that's why I throw those two things out there.
Yes, I tell my clients, you don't speak the same language as men. They speak Mandarin. You speak, what is the dying language? Latin.
Okay.
You can't even understand them.
Yeah.
Watch their actions. Don't listen. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. I love you. I'm going to marry you. I want to meet your family. I'm going to take you out on Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, just all the things that could be said.
Right.
You say, oh, that is so nice. You smile and wave like when you can't understand people's language. You're just like,
right. That's exactly what you did.
Yeah, you're like, okay. Just say that is so nice.
Got you.
I can't wait to see it. Or like, that is so nice. Like, I'm so excited to see what you do.
Got you. Okay. Now moving into from that to actually like say you're dating this person, you're dating with intention. Just like a quick synopsis. What does that look like?
So you guys are both clear. Because I'm single till I'm married. I could be dating 12 men. And I don't know that man. I don't know any of those men. Like outside of our dating time, because they get to date whoever they want to too. Don't intertwine your life with somebody who is not your husband.
How do women set clear boundaries? Give a tip on how women set clear boundaries with that.
I'm not being funny. Don't have sex with them. And I know that's like, Corinne, that's not the only solution. But when I'm telling you,
you feel like that will help.
It solves 99.009% of problems like that women have in the dating phase, because it's always like, well, is he thinking about me? Does he care about me? When you don't give him that power, you don't care. If you have 11 other people on the roster and 11 is high, okay, that's energy. Yeah, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And if you can do it, do 11. But if you have other people who are taking you out, who are treating you well, who are just like loving on you and like showing you appreciation and affection, who cares if he doesn't call?
Got you.
We don't care.
That's a fact. Now, let me ask you this. When somebody who has gone through all of the steps, you've dated all of these great guys, how do you narrow it down to that one? I have a pretty good idea, I think, how you would narrow it down to the one. Or do you not narrow it down? Does the man let it be known, like, hey, I want to take this exclusive? But then for you, again, he's a great guy, like externally, you know what I'm saying? He's doing all the right things as far as seeing you regularly, all of that stuff. How do you decide if you want to drop the 10 and be with him, or be like, I feel like we need to continue dating?
Got it. So the first step will be a proposal. Because you can date yearly.
Okay.
But I personally would not date a man for a year plus to see how this goes. Like, I would keep dating. Do you watch Bridgerton?
I don't.
Ever seen it?
I'm gonna check it out though now.
It's like dating in the old times, and it's like she had many suitors.
Yeah.
Come to her house, bring her flowers, take her on walks by the pond, whatever. But until somebody said, I want your hand in marriage, they were random men coming to the house. So that's how, in many other cultures, date like that. That's how I'm going to date. That's how it's been like, it's very, because there's no rule book in the Bible for dating.
Yeah.
And I saw a sermon change my life, and it's like, because dating is not biblical. Now, you can put it in like a biblical sense, but there was no period where you tried marriage out and you saw where this worked.
You're right.
It just doesn't happen like that. So I would say I have a list, and it's not long, but it's specific. And so if somebody met that list and then they proposed to me, then they would meet the men in my family, and then meet my family, and then I would see what they say, and then we would go from there.
Okay, got you. So there is no boyfriend-girlfriend phase at all?
No, I don't know what that is.
That's good. Okay, that's good. I know I'm seeing that more and more. Like, as I listen to more podcasts, I listen to more women speak. Like, they are just dating and not going with the flow, but dating and seeing who actually proposes and go from there. Let me ask you this question before we move to the next question. How long, like, let's say this guy's like in a week, it's like, I want to marry you. That's very intense.
I've never had it in a week, so I can't say, but I will say, like, I just called some male family members, and I was like, okay, so I think we're getting around that time, and I was like, I need you to take a flight if it happens. Like, I need you.
Got you.
I need to come.
So what would you think is a good time? Just a general time for like women if they decided to go this particular route in dating?
I would say ask the men in your life before you do anything. Yeah. Before you set a timetable, before you do anything, ask the men in your life, because that's something that we get wrong as women, is we date on our own, and we don't see men the way men see men.
Okay.
Men know men.
Okay.
We don't know men the way men know men, because they know each other. It's like I can't explain to you. I have to ask a man.
Got you.
But I would ask the men in my family, like, even if it's 3 months, but you all vibe together, you all have great values, sit down, have them meet your family, and the men will tell you. The men in your family who love you and mean you no harm, they will tell you.
Got you.
Because they're going to talk to him. They're going to ask him. They don't even have to really ask him a lot of questions. They'll know his energy. Like, men know men.
Got you. I have another question. Do you work with your clients?
Mm-hmm.
Because with some women, that's like, oh, what the hell? That's really, really fast.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying do for months.
I'm not saying, no, in general, just there's women, but they have that mentality due to things that they've been through with men. They want to be with a man, but maybe they've been through things with men. Maybe they have their own childhood traumas as to why dating and not doing the boyfriend and not doing the boyfriend girlfriend thing is a problem. They can't. Do you work with people through that?
100%. So even in the book, I talk about that because I know that sex is such a triggering topic for so many people for so many reasons.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. And so I wanted to be very sensitive about that in the book. So I work on self first. Like, there is no client that's gonna come in that's gonna say, I wanna date and get married or whatever, or date and have a boyfriend, or date get on a yacht in 12 months. No. We're gonna look at you, because everything that's coming in your life is a reflection of you. So if, first of all, we work on self first. Okay. Whatever we need to forgive ourselves for, whatever we need to figure out. So if that means finances, I don't do finances, but I can direct you to Dave Ramsey. He has a Total Money Makeover. It's a book. We can figure out what that is for you. And then we talk about your relationship with God. It's so important, because I can only tell you so much. Everybody else can only tell you so much. You need a connection with God, because the things I ask women to do is bold.
Yeah.
It's bold. And I'm clear about it. I'm clear that telling them, sitting across from a man and saying, I don't know what a girlfriend is bold. I'm clear that letting a man who may have, just took you on a whirlwind something, and you stand outside your house door okay, good night, is bold, because you're not coming in. I understand. But my confidence is in God. And so I work with my clients on getting their confidence in God, because I can't, tips, tricks, 5 steps, 4 lines to say there's not going to be anything I can tell a woman that's going to help her unless she's anchored in God. It's just not. It will not stick. It will not stay. Because you need boldness, and you need to understand God's design for women, and God's love for women, and God's plan for women. And then you walk in a boldness. It's you can't come in my house. It's you cannot call me after 10. No.
Got you. Okay.
So we do work through that, but God is the foundation.
Got you. Okay. Using femininity to be magnetic.
Yes. I love this one.
Tell me a little bit about that.
It's using your creativity. It's using your fun. It's using your spunk. It's using your, just naturally, the gifts that you have naturally. It's using them. And when you're yourself, you become magnetic. That's awesome. If you think about Beyonce, Britney Spears, Janet Jackson, and Cher, what do they have in common?
Oh, that they're all creative and they're all themselves in their own way.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing really, except for they sing and they're creative.
Yeah.
You can't say they dress the same, they sing the same, they have the same genre. When you are yourself, people are drawn to you.
Got you.
They don't know what to do with it. There are some women who rock the punk look, some women who do the emo look, some women who have the bad and bougie look. Some women are the soul flowers, and they got the big hair and the dandelion in their hair, or whatever, or what is Daisy, whatever it is. You have to be yourself, and when you do that, you become magnetic, and then you create an experience. So you're not just going on a date; you're creating an experience.
Got you. And there's a lot of self-work that you have to do within yourself to create that. So I know, you just explained, that's something that you work on with women.
Create the experience. Instead of just when you answer a question, instead of saying, I'm looking for this or I'm looking for that, you look up and you say, I desire. And he was like, what are you denying? What? Tell me, like, I want to know. Create an experience, have fun, be spontaneous, be yourself. Tell him no. Hit his hand if he try to touch you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, okay, well, okay. But love is secretly in his mind.
Got you. Okay. Feminine principles.
Mm-hmm.
What are
my gosh. Connection, communication. Why am I blanking right now? Connection, communication, emotional intelligence, can do open-heartedness, vibrancy. Like, it's so many different principles that come along with femininity where they're not as rigid. So, like, that's why we need men. And I teach my clients, you need to learn to love men. See?
That's a big no. It's not for me.
No, it's always a gas. It's always a gas. I'm always like, oh God, that's gonna be so hard.
Not for me. I love men.
No, I know.
But in general, but I know a lot of women who think very differently, than that.
Right.
So how do you teach a woman to love a man? I know you say they gotta be anchored in God. But how do you help women break up those beliefs that they have against men? Which the beliefs are valid, right? Like we have our experiences, right? But how do you help women break their beliefs in regards to just not generalizing men? Because I think that's what it is, generalizing men, putting them in this box and thinking that they're all this way. But then at the same time, they want to be with them, though. That's the part. They want to be with them, though. So help the people.
So that's why it's so important to know yourself and to have a foundation in God. Then we work on, if this is who you are, if you desire to be cared for, if you desire to be healed, if you desire to be provided for, everything, it's a law. Everything has an equal, so for everything, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's like, yes. So for every desire or for every want, there is an equal and opposite somebody to feel that need.
Yeah.
So if you're thirsty, somebody has water.
Right.
If you want shelter, somebody has shelter. There's all up, down, left, right, black, white. Like, there's always the opposite. So if you're like, okay, if this is God's plan for me and if this is what I desire, oh my God, there is a match.
Right.
And that means, like, if I deserve to be held, that means that there is somebody who's willing to hold. If I deserve to be provided for, that means there's somebody out there who desperately wants to provide. Like, they want to feel that need. So understanding who you are and then who the men are, and who, like, men are so beautiful. God's design for men is, like, to be, and hear me when I say this.
Okay.
Not that you submit to them like God or you fall on your face or anything like that, but they are designed to be protectors, like God in the flesh. You should feel like, my husband is going to go as hard for me as God would. Like, the second in command, because God put men in charge and we're here to help. So the design of men is beautiful. But to understand that and understand everything you want out of a man, it exists. And then I ask women, just be practical. Like, walk me through your day. And then I'm going to tell you how many times a man affected your day. You got in your car, a man probably built your car. You got on the roads, a man probably built the road. You was on your phone, a man probably built the phone. You saw somebody getting helped on the side of the road. It was a fire truck. It was probably a man in the fire truck. Like, men do so many good things in society.
I get that. I get that, right? But I think what comes to mind for me, for a lot of women who have the trust issue, who have been through things, is how do we help them break up this belief that men are trash, but at the same time want to be with them? How do we help? Like you said before, like, our lives are kind of a reflection of kind of like the inside, and then reflecting out is kind of our beliefs and stuff like that. That's what I believe. Okay. So I believe if you're a man, if you're a woman, you want to be with a man, but you're attracting certain type of men, there's certain beliefs that you have within yourself on why you are attracting this man, or not even attracting this man. We attract everybody. It's who we entertain. Why you're entertaining this man, why you're sticking around for this man. Do you work with women on their inner beliefs and their core wounds? Because, like I said, God is very important. God is very important. Yeah, I'm gonna say that, big God, very important. But I also believe people maybe who don't believe in God, believe in the word per se, maybe they're more spiritual, or maybe they lean another way. I think that learning yourself can also be important into not attracting, but getting the right man. What type of things do you work on with clients in regards to that? Like those core beliefs that they don't even know that they have, but they have them, and that's why they're in these messed up situations with men. Because you could tell them, well, the man built the car, the man built this, the man did that, and they don't care about that because they're dealing with men who are out here cheating on them, doing them wrong, or they're seeing these men on the internet beating on women for certain reasons and things of that nature. How do you even work with people like that, or do you work with people more so who align with you and your beliefs?
I would. So my practice is always going to be faith-based because I'm going to tell you at the end of the day, you don't even have to come to me. Go to God. Okay. Seriously. Like, if you want to, that's like, you can work out by yourself. You could get fit by yourself, but it's easier, faster, quicker, more, like you say, more energy, resources if you work with a trainer. So I would say to those people, I would ask a series of questions. Like, coaching is very like question based to get to the beliefs. So let's say if the belief was men are trash, then I will ask them, okay, in what ways?
Yeah.
Give me all the ways men are trash. Well, they're da 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 da. Then I will ask, okay, well, how are men trash to you? Because some women have beliefs that don't even apply.
To them. That's a fact.
They don't even apply to them. Like,
that's a fact.
Even women in America, like, we don't understand how lucky we are, because there are some women in the world where we're saying, oh, well, men get paid, thousands more than us or something. There's some women who cannot go to school. They will be killed.
Like they go.
But it's so unfair. And it's like, we have the perspective. Were you paid less than your male counterpart? You don't know. So you're just assuming, were you denied access because you were a woman for something? You really don't know. And maybe it was true for you, but a lot of women, we hold beliefs that don't even,
or they see certain things and then they hold it true for themselves.
Hold on.
Men do the same thing.
We all do.
Yeah, the ones who aren't healed do the same things. And like the men who compare women, all they want is money. And it's like, have you been with every woman in the world? But then with them, they're looking at a homeboy's experience or an experience on the internet, and then they tie it to themselves, and then that's it. So I know a lot of women do that. So that's, I guess, like you said, asking a series of questions to get down to the root of that, to disassemble the root and help them believe in other things.
Yeah, and then we'll have to put in new core beliefs.
Right.
And then make sure they actually believe them.
Right.
Don't let me make your core belief. Like, we'll give like a very like skeleton, but you have to build it, because if I say something, it may be true for me, but you could say something
and it's not
in the same area and it'd be true for you. But it's the same like principle that's behind it, or the same belief, but we say different things. Like, some people, I'm wealthy and abundant, but some people like to say money comes to me easily. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whatever works for you, works for you. But definitely getting down to the limiting beliefs, and also just unmasking sometimes our part in it. Because we have to be accountable. Like, I'm asking you to do a lot, okay? And it's worth it on the back end. But if you don't have accountability, don't work with me.
That's a fact.
You will hate me. You will be like, Corinne, it's time to ruin my life. Do not work with me. Like, please go to somebody else who coddles people. Like, I want women to live a life of peace and ease, specifically Black women.
Yeah.
And we have not been able to do that for hundreds of years. So we got some work to do.
Yes.
So don't come to me if you don't want to be accountable. Like, please go somewhere else.
That's a huge issue.
Please.
That is a huge issue.
Yeah, of letting the men, anything that happened to you, like in my practice, prior to 21, we charge that to the game. Like, that wasn't your fault.
Right.
You were young, you were naive, but after 21, you're 21 day one.
Oh, that's it.
We got to talk about that. Like, that was you making those choices. Like, I give grace, because sometimes we just, like you said, when we were younger, we weren't thinking that.
We weren't thinking it through. Like, we're building ourselves up, and we're just subconsciously just trying to go with the world and how the world is going and what they're teaching us how to relate to men and all of that stuff. So yeah, I don't count certain things when somebody's younger either. Yeah.
21 year day one. All right.
Yeah.
You can be
I definitely agree with that. Okay, Ben. So we're going to move on to this one. The power of a woman's sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've touched on this all throughout the episode where you talk about not giving away your power away. Girl, let's dig in.
We haven't even. I don't think we understand how much, I can't even comprehend it. I do this work. How much men like to look at women, period.
Yes.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
Period. And if you think, Corinne, that's not true and it doesn't matter, look at the countries where all you can see is women's eyes.
Yeah.
And they're still committing like sexual crimes or something like that. No shade to those communities.
Yeah.
But it's like, you look at that and understand a man can see your eyes and be like, oh my.
Yeah.
What's underneath? Like, sir, all you can see is my, but that's the thing is that's how, like, we don't understand how they see us. We have no idea how they really like zone in on us.
Yeah.
So we can, our sensual, sexual energy, any energies we have, we can turn on and off. Mm-hmm. So if you're with a child, you could mother a child that's not yours. Like you could.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a child and you ain't seen his mother and you go into like.
Yeah.
It's very, you turn into that child's mother. That's your mother energy. I've seen it and I'm like, I don't know where that child's mother is, but I'm watching every step. Like, because it's a child, I can turn on that mother energy. I can turn on like girlfriend energy, like talk with my friends and be super empathetic and oh my gosh, girl, I can't believe that happened, or it's so sad. I can do that, and then I can turn on when I go to work. It's a different energy. Different energies that we have. That sensual, sexual energy, save it, okay, for your husband. But you can use that to create. Like you can use that to do the podcast,
right?
Create the art, write the book.
For me, creating games.
Yes, creating games, like playing for keeps. Like you can do that and so much more when you don't put that energy with a man, because they've done like their scientific studies, National Health Institute. I cannot think of the name of the study, but if you just type in like orgasms and energy, it's the highest form of energy that we can create.
Yeah.
So imagine doing that with somebody and then being like, oh, that was casual. Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and I used to be on that time wave, but then for myself, in recent times, I'm learning that I'm able to do more as far as creative wise, because I'm not having sex right now. So yeah, I agree. For me personally, of the studies and even what you're saying, because when I was casually doing stuff and doing this and that, my mind I wasn't on a creative streak at all. No, I was concentrating on. Even if it was casual, I slicking away still was concentrating on that situation, one way or another.
So, do you know what he was doing?
Not doing what I was doing. I know
he was taking your energy,
right,
and doing whatever it is he's doing now. Like whether he used it or not, that's following him. But yeah, men take our energy. Like, have you ever? Our energies are just different. Have you ever walked past a group of men and just the energy was like thick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I gotta go this way. Like, we have different energies and we lighten up, even non-sexual. You can have male friends, and male friends are feeding off of your energy.
I can't believe
just from you existing. You could be taking a nap on the sofa, and the fact that you're in his presence is like. Right? They cognitively, they may not see it like that anymore because we have given them so much access to us. But you have to understand that for a very long time, men and women were separated. I'm talking about millions of years.
Yeah.
We've never really intermingled like this for real, the way we are before. Like, come over my house, I'm going to come over your house, all this kind of stuff. It was very separated for good reason. Like, now I'm thinking about it, for good reason. So now it's like, he may not be thinking this. He may be like, oh, I'm on the game. But just the fact that you're over there on the couch taking a nap gives him more social status. Because let's say he's on the game. I was on the phone like, another day. What? The playhouse? The playground?
Okay.
Whatever. On the game. I don't know, girl. But he was like, oh, I'm at the playground. Or something. I don't know, girl. It's something with I don't know. I don't really.
Okay.
I don't date him like games, but like, what do my friends do? So I was a little like, I don't know what that is. But anyway. He was on it and he was like, oh, I'm talking to one of my friends. And I was like, oh, tell him I said hi or whatever. If he tells his friend that you said hi, what that means is that you are with him. And when a woman is with a man, that gives them status. Wow. So even though they're not even thinking about it, in his mind, he just went up a tick because he's with you.
I can see that. I can see that. I never thought of it that way.
He just went up a tick. And then there's a woman, she's a YouTuber, and I got this example from her. Her name is Mina Ifran. She said if a boy like wasn't doing well in school or if he didn't have popularity, what did he do? Lied about being with a girl. Whether he did it or not. Or instantly. You were with her.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Instantly, even the thought of him being with you gives him power.
Wow. I never thought of it like that, but you're right, though.
She gave me that, and it changed. I was like, oh, I'm not hanging out with men like that no more. I don't. Not that men are not great. I think men are wonderful.
Yeah, because I have a lot of
men. I honor men, and I love men, and I do have a lot of male friends. And I'm learning, like, my male friends are getting married, and so communication starts to dwindle.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, but if we're friends, why would communication dwindle when you get married? I have a theory, and it's like,
I think it should dwindle just because,
it's not dwindling with his male friend. With a lot of my friends who are married, their communication is not dwindling with their male friend.
And is it? I would say it's because of the other woman. Maybe the other woman would feel some type of way.
Right, but why?
You tell me why. Because I know me personally, I think a little differently, but you tell me why. Because I
want to hear why you think so.
They say it's due to insecurity and stuff like that. I don't fully believe that. I feel like it's just a respect thing. If that woman is that way, that's cool. I know me. Like, let's say if I was that woman, if my man knew this woman for years, I'm not going to expect him to just stop talking to her. Now, if it dwindles down, then it dwindles down. But it wouldn't be a conversation if this woman has been around, like, for a very long time. I mean, like, long time before me. So, but I would love to hear yours.
I have so many male friends, so it's hard for me to say this out of my mouth. But I'm one of the people, I'm like, if it's a cat, it's a cat. So if it's quack like a duck, walk like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that men and women can be friends now. Maybe give us a million more years and we can like evolve to do it.
Got you.
But I don't, and this is coming from, I have male friends. And I've actually had conversations with my male friends about like, if I get married, they're not invited to the wedding. And I know that sounds like,
wow.
But my I have come to find out, I don't have one male friend that has not made a pass at me, that has not said something slick, that has not said something to somebody else that has gotten to me. And so I feel like, out of respect for my husband, I can't have people at my wedding who kind of like,
got you.
Lost Corinne, like, you know what I mean? But so many women have that experience. And I think we can have male proximity. I don't know if I think friends is tricky because we can have female friends. We can have male proximity. We can have male acquaintances, but maybe give it a different name because if given the chance, they would probably make a pact. Like,
I was talking to another man. He was saying the same thing. He was saying the same thing you were saying. I hate that I can't think of what he said. But he was just saying you can't be friends with thieves. That's what he called it. He called men thieves because at the end of the day, whether you are, because I'm the type, well, why we can't be friends? Like, I'm so naive in that way to a lot of people. Like, why we can't be friends? And I have been in my own experiences as to why, like, people wonder, like, why do you think this way? But yeah, but that's what he said. And he was just like, at the end of the day, if he has an opportunity, he's going to try you.
Yeah.
So that's why he said, you can't be friends with thieves.
I'm gonna have to use that. I don't know who that man's name is with that.
I work with him because I work with him. I gotta call him. I need to reach back out to him because and he said he wanted to come on here, but and he said that and it stuck with me. And it's like, damn, bro,
so clear.
Yeah, he said you cannot be friends with and he used another phrase with it. I'm paraphrasing.
If that's the
that was the
that. I don't care what he said.
No, it was fire. Like, I think I'm not even saying it in a full context, but that's what he said. It was just him. Like, it was just like you can't. He was just like you can't. And
that's the best.
Yeah, and then he was very friendly with me, and then he walked me to my car. He didn't make a pass though, because I kind of made.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro. He kind of ruined that for me.
Yeah, but that's why I say men know men. So I listen to what men say about men because that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, not like listen unfiltered when they kind of not really thinking about it. Like they will tell you
I think
the truth.
I think it's messed up though. Like, because when I talk to other men and the things that they say, that's another topic from that. I'm not gonna dig into that today. But I talk to a lot of men on this topic. It's a lot of different things they say. Just like, why would I be friends with a woman? They're not even good friends. They're not even good friends to women. You have a lot of men who say that, and it's like that's not true. Like,
Okay,
not all women are like that.
not all women are like that.
Right. So that's a bad example. And then there's a few other ones. I'm gonna go down my memory Rolodex, and if I think of anything else, I'm gonna let you know. But yeah, I talk to a lot of men on this topic because I feel like we should, like, okay.
Do they say men and women can be friends?
They all say no because they compartmentalize.
Okay, so
They're looking for a partner. They're not looking for a friend. But in my opinion, it's like, how can you be with a partner for real and not like this person?
Okay,
So this is the debates that I have with men.
okay, so if I'm gonna switch into coach mode real quick.
Please.
If I were coaching you,
Yes.
I would say, how many men have you heard say this? And then you would tell me however many. And I would say, okay, if they're all saying this,
But some of the reasons are messed up though.
but that's not, and this is another thing where I help women in coaching practice. We are different.
Yeah.
We do not understand.
Yeah.
We are so different. It's not even funny.
I see that
It's not even funny.
as I go through this journey, I'm seeing that.
It's not even funny. Like we literally think differently. They've done studies where brain regions and women are more active, and then some brain regions are more active in men.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we could be thinking that doesn't make any sense, but to them it makes perfect sense because it's lighting up in their head.
And it do. And the guy who, before I get into this last topic, because I feel like it relates, and the guy who made the comment of he basically him compartmentalizing, he's looking for a compliment, not a friend. And also said that why would I be friends with a woman, and women don't even be friends. They not even good friends to each other. And you see me bring this up on another podcast. I didn't mention no names, but I was talking to somebody else who agreed with me. And he's down, yeah, you need to say, I said it. I was just like, what the hostility? Why?
But listen to them.
I do. I listen.
Every single man you meet is saying it. It doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, my dad used to say this. You don't have to like it or believe it, but you do have to respect it. And I appreciate him for that. And so when certain men say things, I don't argue with it because it must be true for them. If you go to India and a man say you're not friends with women, you go to Africa and a man say you're not friends with women, you go to Canada and he say in Antarctica in the North Pole, it is what it is.
I'm gonna say this one thing before we go to the next topic,
Mm-hmm.
cause then when I spoke to a man who was a coach,
Mm-hmm.
and he said something he didn't think that it made sense.
Okay.
So I feel like in a person who's done the work,
Mm-hmm.
at least to some degree, a man who's done the work to some degree would look for somewhat of a friend. Cause how do you build? And he's somebody who's really big into the Lord and stuff like that too. How do you build with somebody that's not your friend?
Like I said, I think we need to get, I think we need to get a different name for it. Because I think friend confuses us. Like he can be a colleague, he can be a great connection, he can be a network, he can be whatever. And I also
so we need to box this person into a certain thing to help people to make it more
friends. You could say friends who flirt. You could say, because you may not be doing it, but I heard a man say, if a man is talking to you for longer than 20 seconds and it's not work related, he's interested. Either in maybe not a relationship, but maybe having sex with you, maybe getting you to the house and seeing what happens. Like,
got you.
And it's hard because it's like, but I'm fun to talk to. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
But it's that we have to understand our minds do not work the way men's minds work.
Okay, so
and we can't question it. We just have to say, all right, and then move accordingly.
I do say all right after I'm like, what the?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's not gonna make sense to us. It's not gonna make sense.
Okay, I think this is a great segue to the last topic because it's like healing relationships between men and women. How do we heal? How do we heal if we? Okay, let's take let me take my own personal preference of friendship out of it.
Okay,
how do we heal relationships between men and women, in your opinion?
So even though I can call them friends and I know what it is, so my male friends, but I'm clear about what that is.
Got you.
With my male friends, I do think that you have to figure out how to be with each other, even if it's in like a school setting or something. It's like understand the way that another works, or have somebody teach it to you. So when they separated men and women, some people still do. They teach women about the nature of men, and then they teach men about the nature of women and what each side needs. And so they understand it. And I think if we understand that, I'm going to keep going back to God because I didn't create life. So I could try to say all these things, but like go back to God's design for men and women. And like you can look at the Garden of Eden and you can see like what was God's design. It was to rule. It was to dominate. It was to be together. It was to be like co-creators with God and to understand those divine roles. And when we get out of those roles, and I think when Eve ate the apple was like the perfect, it was a perfect situation. We then like are so confused and conflicted because nobody wants to take responsibility and nobody wants to take accountability. And so now everything is just mishmash, and then we're out of roles and we don't understand that we're different pieces of the same part. And that is where we get back. It's like getting back to Eden. It's like understanding like what is God's role for men? What is God's role for women? Okay. And not looking at either of those as bad or as negative or as degrading or as subservient, but as they're complementary. Gotcha. So when we heal that, when we can understand who we are as women, what we bring, I'm not going to say that word. Now I had it. Yeah. What we bring to how we create the atmosphere and how a man gets to hold us in that and how he gets to support us in that. Beauty. Even in non-romantic relationships, too.
How do we teach men to be that container?
Okay, so here's one thing I do. We have to, like, what do we want him to do? Suggestive, like, actions, suggestive in our energy, and suggestive in our words. So when you say, like, going back to earlier, when you say, I desire, I can't make a man do anything. But I can, if I desire a man who provides, then I can give him examples where I need provision. I can do it in my energy. So like a fallback energy. Like if a problem comes up, I don't help him with the problem. I was like, babe, you are just so smart. Like you'll figure it out. Like you're such an intelligent man. Like you got it. And so now he knows like I have to come up with the answer. Like she's not coming up with it. She just left me with the I'm smart. I have to figure it out. But to just suggest, even with my uncle, I tell my uncle, like, I just give him small tidbits of, like, what I need. I'm like, oh, man. I think I may need X, Y, and Z. And he's like, oh, man. And I'm like, and he's going to help me with it, or he's going to do it for me, or he's going to move the thing, because I just, like, suggest it. Don't demand.
No.
Suggest.
Got you.
Suggest.
Got you. Absolutely. Okay. We're going to dive into these questions.
Let's do it.
Thank you for explaining the last subject. That was good. Okay. My ex taught me blank and I apply it in my relationships today. I know you don't do the relationship thing per se.
I used to though.
Okay.
I used to be a relationship girly.
or even just how do you apply it today? Just how do you apply the things that you like, what was taught to you by your ex, and then just how do you apply it in general?
Okay, I have thoughts of so many exes. And I do want to say that I want women to get to this point is I have so many good things too. I love all my, like, especially close 21.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing to
love. When I say I like finished the book and I sent it to one of my exes and he was like, he's in the book. And he was like, oh, you finally wrote the book. Like, we need to get like a PR thing together. Like, and that's what I want women to experience is not like, that was a beautiful question for me. And it wasn't like, let me tell you about, like, that's not the energy that I want women to walk in. I want women, if you are doing any dealings with a man and you have not walked out better for it, you are not dealing with masculine men. Masculine men leave you better than they found you.
Okay.
And the same for feminine women. So I'm going to think of one ex. He taught me that I am better in a relationship than I am single. Yes, he was such a like motivator. He was such a like gentle and like kind and supportive that after the relationship I was like, oh, I need to be in a marriage. Like, wasn't really feeling marriage. Like he wanted to get married, but I was like,
yeah.
But after him, I was like, oh my God, I'm better in a relationship. So that's
you.
one of the things that he taught me.
That's dope. Okay, I want to spin this question. So the question is, how does one know a relationship is over? I want to spin a little bit. How does a woman know the dating phase needs to be over with a man if she's dating in the ways that you speak of?
Okay. So create a love list. Talk to my clients about this. Create a love list, all the things you want, all the things you desire. And if he's not matching the love list, he shouldn't even made it in your rotation. but let's just say that he made it to your rotation. If you are starting to like wonder what's going on, then it's probably time to have a conversation with him about it. And then if that doesn't work, cut it off. And not a conversation as in like, well, what are we doing? It's just like, oh, because if you've already said what you wanted, let's say it's marriage, or let's not say that. Some people want to be in boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. So let's say you want to be a girlfriend, and you guys talked about that on the first date, and he said, oh yeah, I want to be a boyfriend too, or whatever. So you're like, I was just thinking about that conversation we had, and like how much I really loved when you said you wanted to be a boyfriend. Like, I'm just wondering about like, what qualities do you think a boyfriend should have? And then and then like, well, just listen to him, and then say, oh, okay. And then just kind of leave it at that. And if that should bring it back up, like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm supposed to be your boyfriend. We always suggest. We never like outwardly say it, but then it's time to go. Because if it doesn't match up with your timeline, it's time to go.
Got you. Okay. I want to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Within dating, what do you think is more important, time or energy?
Time.
Why?
You can never get time back. You can't get more energy. So I'm going to say time. And when you say like, what do you mean?
I think
the question.
I think I say energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say because it's important to be cognizant of the energy that you bring something.
Okay.
Be intentional, because you could be dating and putting in time, but if you're putting in bad energy, or like we were just talking about before, you believe men are trash, and you're going into the dating scene with this energy, you're not going to land what you want.
Okay.
So that's why I was just wondering what.
So when you say time and energy, like
time versus energy.
Okay.
I see why people say time, because with the fortune.
Oh, I'm saying like, which one is more important? More time you spend with a person, or the more energy?
Not even just time or energy.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I would say time.
Yeah,
it's because it's an unrenewable resource.
Gotcha.
Okay. Don't get it back. But I like your answer.
Yeah, that's why. That's just my personal.
I think they tie into each other, because if you came with bad energy, it would be a waste of time. And then why are we here?
That's true too. See,
I like your answer.
What do you need to improve, learn, or stop doing to be in a successful marriage?
In the house.
You be outside.
No, I be in the house.
Oh, you be in the house.
When I go outside, people be like, I guess Atlanta knows everybody, and they be like, where have you been doing? I'm like, in the house, read the book. Like, I love my house. Like, I just love to be there. It's my favorite place. I've been like that since I was young. But like, in order to like just be fresh and like see what's going on, you do have to be out. So it'd be funny, like my rotations get made at Whole Foods. I tell people all the time, people like, Corinne, you always meet men at Whole Foods. The men who we work together, the men's are at Whole Foods.
Okay, that's a bit. Thank you for that.
The men's are at Whole Foods.
Look at you saying you don't drop tips and you dropping
Don't go out to the club. Listen, hear me. Don't go to the club on the weekend. I want you to spend one weekend where you don't go to the club or whatever, lounge, whatever. And I want you to go to Whole Foods. I want you to go to Target. I want you to go to Fresh Market, and I want you to go to the gym. Those are your like 4 stops you're gonna make. You will be surprised how many men you see at 9 o'clock, and then they're not in the club. They're not smoking. They're not drinking tonight. They probably marriage material. They probably have it together.
Right.
They're probably working on themselves. Those are the men.
Look at you dropping gems.
Go to the gym, Target, Fresh Burger, Whole Foods, wherever you like, where you tend to go, or where you and your person will go there.
I like
at 9 o'clock.
I like that. I got one more question for you. And it sounds like your upbringing was awesome, amazing, but I'm curious to see if you have an answer. What did you wish your childhood self knew that you... No, that's not the... I want to ask another question, but that's okay. What did you wish your childhood self knew that you know now?
Okay, this is gonna be deep.
Okay.
And also low-key sound like I'm hyping myself up. I'm gonna explain that I'm the answer. So I have like...
No, that's beautiful.
My dedication in my book, it says, for Mildred, Althea, and Shirley, my greatest hope is that I am an answer to at least one of your prayers.
I love that because I know when I was talking to my sister and I told her, like, me and her, or we are our mother's wildest dreams, just due to things that's happened to her, and even like her marriage to our father isn't... That's another topic for another day. But the way we're living our lives now, my sister's in a successful marriage. I'm not married yet. But as far as like me and my career and how I go for the things that I want for my life, I told my sister the same thing as far as and she's expressed that to us as well. So no, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, so that will be mine. If I could like whisper to her, I would tell her that.
That's powerful. Okay, I'm gonna circle back to the question that I thought that question was, and it wasn't. In your childhood, do you feel like there were any needs that weren't met that impacted your dating and relationships before you got to this point?
Do I feel like there were any needs that were met? I wish I had seen my parents go through conflict together. I don't really remember them going through conflict. Like, I don't remember a fight. I don't remember an argument. I don't remember and it's even something small, like, yeah, what's for dinner? Where the dishes, like, who's put up the dishes? Or like, I said I wanted 3 tacos and not 4. Like, I don't remember that, but I also don't have like the best memory. Like, it's like a joke in my family. Like, my sister has the best memory, so I'm like asking, she got it. Like, so I would say that I don't remember, and it wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was neutral, but I think it would have been helpful to see like how the conflict resolved.
Gotcha. So do you think it helped it when you got into like when you were dating, you were in relationships? Do you think you weren't able to handle conflict and stuff because of that?
Okay, I love this question. Okay, in the relationship with a guy before, like, they took me across state lines, so I wouldn't hurt that man. In that relationship, horrible communication.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah,
like horrible. Yeah. I didn't use my voice. I love big men. So he was big, and so like asserting yourself around like an angry big man is not the easiest thing to do. Yeah. And I didn't know like feminine communication. I didn't know any of these things then. So that was horrible communication. Like, we were the poster children for bad communication. Like, it was horrible. It was so bad.
Got you. Somebody else came on my podcast with the same thing. She said she never seen her mother and her father fight, and it resulted in poor communication skills. You know, I think for her, in a way, not being assertive in the things that she wanted and needed. For her, I know you don't speak to that, but she had to relearn those things, like how to communicate better, So did you go through that similar journey?
Yes. So that's that horrible. Okay. Fast forward to, I want to call him like the golden egg. Fast forward to the golden egg. And we used to have something called a thou wow bow wow.
Okay.
And we would like, when we said that, we knew it was like, drop everything. Like, be serious.
Okay.
Be serious. And so basically like a thou wow pow wow was like, we would keep it 1,000. And it was like our little, like, it was a powwow. Like, I'm like that. And we would sit crisscross, and we would either sit touching each other, or I would be like sitting on top of him, like just connected, because it's very hard to scream at a person or not hear a person if you're touching when you're touching them. So I do teach my clients this: if you're married, if you're in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, I don't think this will work out that well, because it's kind of like
leads
to, you know what I mean? So, but having that connection with the person there was nothing we could not talk about. Even like a breakup conversation. It was not a knockdown, drag out fight.
Yeah.
Like we had vegan pizza. At the end, I was like so nervous, but like he kissed me at the end and he said, Corinne, this does not make us enemies. And he like directed traffic. I can't remember what street because I don't be out in these streets, but it's some street where it's like it's very hard to get out. And so he like directed traffic for me so I could back out. And we communicate so well. It's beautiful.
What?
So I relearned that, and I will say that's through like watching YouTube videos. I mean, truly,
Yeah.
reading books, and then also God, because God communicates with me like very gently. And so, like I said, God is like the head, and like the man will be the general. So I'm like, if you're not talking to me like God is talking to me, if you're not treating me that way,
Yeah.
we're not having a conversation.
Respect. Yeah.
So I did outlearn that.
Got you. That is awesome. Okay. Where can the audience find you, Corinne?
All right. So on YouTube and on Instagram, it's same. Corinne is love. That's CORINNE_ISLOVE on YouTube and on Instagram.
Also, I'm going to have all of those links in the show notes. I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. And the book on May 24.
Yeah.
I'll give you the link when it drops.
Yeah. And that link will also be in the show notes. So you guys check it out. I want to thank all of the viewers and the listeners. Don't forget to download the dating app Playing for Keeps. And until next time.